generally evolve around the brain. That's good for people with stroke, and also around people with wounds. Alright? Alright, let's take a look at the first research. This is the title of this research is an immunomodulatory protein called Lindsay-8 from extracted from Ganoderma lucidum that induce acceleration of wound healing in red liver tissue after monocular electrosurgery. I mean, all this research, I have to qualify that they all like to zero in into very specific area. Alright, so I mean, we can also spread it out into general area when we share it with our friends. Okay. Alright, this research is led by Professor Lin Hao Jian of Taipei Medical University, and the purpose of this research is to investigate the effect of this Lindsay-8 on wound healing in liver tissues after monocular electrosurgery. Okay, what is electrosurgery? Surgery is basically, we all think that it's using a knife to cut, steel knife to cut. Steel knife to cut usually gives you a lot of problem, like bleeding, excessive bleeding of the blood. Alright? So about 50 years ago, in the 1950s, they introduced electrical type of cutting. Not laser, but laser is an advanced stage. But electrical type cutting, where it is using a certain electric current to cut it. Alright? So this the purpose is to use electric current to cut, regulate, and desiccate and fibrillate the tissue, cut the tissue. So a lot of time, even some of us, when we go into the operating theater, we don't even know what is being used to cut. But this electrosurgery is a very common instrument being used. Alright? It's monopolar and bipolar. What is the difference? Monopolar is just one knife. Bipolar is two knives. Right? There are different uses, but usually it's widely used as an alternative to scalpel because its ability to reduce blood loss when you cut. Because when you use electricity to cut, kind of like it may coagulate at the same time, so blood loss is lesser. Right? So other advantages of this electrosurgery is that it reduces surgical time and the wound is smaller, right? And there's a chance of lesser infections. I mean, infection is very serious. I mean, nowadays you can have a very serious kind of bugs that is keep on eating and non-stop. So you want to stop this kind of infection right away. Now, but the problem with this surgery, electrosurgery, is that the surrounding tissue tend to be damaged because of heat, right? And the wound generally heals a little bit slower as compared to scalpel method type. Alright? So we want to see whether Lindsay can help to accelerate this wound healing. Okay, what is Lindsay-8? I mean, in our flip chart, we also say that one component of Ganoderma lucidum is Lindsay-8. Right? Lindsay-8 basically is an immunomodulatory protein that is being isolated from Ganoderma lucidum. Right? The Lindsay that we use in our Yongjian and in our Jiahe Lindsay. Right? And it consists of at least 110 amino acids. Right? Studies has indicated, right, before this study is being done, there are also other studies. Right? Studies indicated that Lindsay-8 can promote wound healing. Why? How? Because it's through cells division. and because of the immunomodulatory activities that is induce an inflammatory reaction, and then it re-epithelize and stimulate the angiogenesis. I will explain all this term in a short while. And then their studies also indicate that Linzi 8 can promote the activation of our immune cells, right? Things like our necrosis factor kappa B and MAPK pathway. All these are immune response. Very technical and a lot of names, which I think there's no need for us to go into detail on it. But basically, all these are immune response. That's all. You need to know the immune response. That's all. Huh? Right. Okay. First, we look at inflation. Inflammation, not inflation. Sorry, I'm so used to inflation because I'm in the financial business. Huh? Inflammation. Okay, inflammation, a very easy term for us is that whenever something hits us, our hand or what swell, can become red. These are all inflammation. But inside our body, it also has inflammation, but we do not know. Alright? So, inflammation is basically our immune system response to heal our wound. That's all. Very simple as that. Right? What they do, they eliminate initial cause of cell injury. Then they remove the dead cells, and the damaged cells and initiate, sorry, not initial, initiate, I type wrong, initiate tissue repair. That is all part of the immune system. There's no need for us to know too much in detail. But what is inflammation? This is the case. Alright, another term is angiogenesis. What it is basically the growing of new blood vessels. This is very important for wound healing. Very important actually also for cancer. Cancer people, also when we talk about angiogenesis. That means it can grow vein, blood vessel, or people with diabetic wounds, right? Because of necrosis, their vein died. Because blood don't flow there, right? So their vein died. So as a result, their limbs start to have gangrenous attack, and then they have problem, right? So Linzi 8 to some extent help to have this angiogenesis to have vein grow back. Right. Necrosis factor kappa B is basically a protein that is signaling all the DNA. We hear about DNA, but DNA need to communicate with one another, right? We just know what is this. That's all. A bit of a complication to actually explain. I also cannot explain because I'm not a scientist. Right. But you don't think that this is a very small thing if it is not regulated. Then it becomes a big problem. It can develop into a cancer, it can develop into an autoimmune problem. Right? So that's why in our flip chart we always say that Linzi can regulate your immune system. This is the case. So when you regulate, this is one of the protein in our body that must be regulated. So if we don't regulate, it just keep on, our cell keep on going and multiplying, and our DNA keep, the cell keep on multiplying and without stopping it. That's why you have a cancerous growth. That's why you have autoimmune problem, right? Because you have a wound, and the wound, when it repair, or inflammation, when it repair, and the inflammation don't stop, or people like allergy, your immune cells come and attack the antigen, develop immune cells to solve the antigen, and then it's supposed to stop so that you will not develop an allergy, but it did not stop. Why? Because all this did not get regulated. That's why we have allergy, we have cancer, we have autoimmune problem. All this because of the immune system not being regulated. So there are many type of cells that need to be regulated. Okay, this is one of them. Of course, not the one only. Right. Then you have also a Casper3, also an immune cell. What it is also an immune system cell. That is, this Casper3, don't think that it's important or not important. This cell programs the cell to die itself. Right? When you heal, when we have an inflammation, our immune system will tell the B cell will tell the E1 cell, all that kind of thing. That's what we learn in our scripture, and then they produce all this. But then in it, they also have this Casper3 in the cell. And this Casper3 is like telling the cell, after you do all this, you die. You stop. That is the case. If you don't stop, same thing. Failure to tell the cell to die, hypothesis is the cell death is one of the main contributions to tumor development and autoimmune disease. Right? Epithelium, epithelium is just skin, connective tissues. All this is called epithelium in science. MAPK is a chain of protein, the communication between DNA. Okay. Right. So just now we talked about that research. So what is the result of that research? I mean, I don't want to go into detail about how the method, all that kind of thing. It's not interested. We want to know that's the result. That's all. Okay. The wound healing effects. First, we look at the wound healing effects. Okay, these cells of the red liver tissues. They do it on 0 day, 3 days, 7 days, and 28 days. Alright, first we look at when the liver was operated. They stimulate liver operation and to show the liver injury. On the day of operation, there is not much of a difference in terms of the wound area. Alright, we look at the total wound area, the gray part here. So this one is the control, this one is with Lindsay 8. Right? The other one is the yellow one is thermal area, the blue one is the injury area. These two is total up is this one. So we look at the total. The thermal area and injury area is the area like they operate on. And then the thermal area is the surrounding area that's being burned, so-called. But we look at the total area. So there's not much of a difference at day 0. But when it comes to day 3, you see the total injury area has improved. The injury size has become smaller. The injury size has become smaller. I mean, we cannot read all this, so we don't look at all this. We just look at the total injury area. That's what interests us after all. We tell, no point for us to tell our client all this kind of thing. They don't understand. I also don't understand. Alright? When it comes to day 7, you see the difference in the injury area, the wound healing. The total injury area of one that is not treated with Lindsay and the one that is treated with Lindsay 8. See, the injury area has reduced in size tremendously. Alright? So, this is one proof that it can accelerate wound healing. Right? But of course, in this test here, the observation is that there is no fibrotic tissue being evident on 0.3 and 0.4, 0 and 3 days. Right? Then we look at the areas of injury at day 7. Now, the number of cell deaths and the wound of liver tissue were much elevated. Sorry, another wrong spelling for the Lindsay 8 after 7 days. But this did not reduce the liver fibrosis caused by the injury. So, of course, when you cut the liver or whatever it is, there's fibrosis. So this type of linzi cannot reduce it, right? So in actual fact, it increases it, right? But the area of injury and number of cell deaths and the wound was improved. Okay, so we look at what happened at day 7. During day 7, you see day 7. Sorry, because it's a bit too small for me on the screen here. We just look at the guide here. Now, day 7, this purple one is the fibrosis area. Linzi 8 the component cannot control fibrosis. So as a result, because of the surgery, fibrosis has increased. So nothing we can do really. I mean, this is like, because you have a cut wound, so you have to definitely show a cut wound, correct or not? Nothing can be stopped. But when you look at the number of cell deaths of the control and the one that's treated with Linzi 8, you see there's a substantial drop after 7 days. I mean after 7 days. So wound healing is also improved. When the number of dead cells is lesser, what does it tell you? It tells you that new cells are being grown, right? When new cells are being grown, wound will be repaired, right? That's why your total injury area gets lesser. So they found that 7 days was the case. They want to see what happened if this thing proceeds another 28 days. Okay, so then they look at it for 28 days, but then at the same time, yes, 28 days. Okay, so 28 days is the same now, so no change. Now at the same time in the research, they also want to look at what happened. How come there is this acceleration in wound healing? What happened? They want to know about what is the pathway, how it comes about. So therefore, we look at the necrosis factor kappa B, right? And you find that this necrosis factor kappa B, in terms of the intensity, as the number of days go by, it keeps on falling. The light one is the control, the dark one is the LZ8 treated. So at day 0, there's no difference, right? But when it comes to duration, the time difference, 3 days, 5 days, and 3 days, 7 days, and 28 days, you find that the wound, the number of necrosis factor kappa B has dropped, right? Similar results for the Caspase 3, right? So the conclusion, of course, here is say that LZ8 treated hepatic cells show a slight apoptosis as compared to control at day 7. This provides evidence of high level of angiogenesis during wound healing. So naturally, when there is a decline in this LZ8 and Caspase 3, that means angiogenesis has happened. Right? Because these two cells more or less are restricting the information, the cell from forming new blood vessel. Alright? So when these two cells fall, that means new cells are being formed. Okay? Right, so the summary, the conclusion of that particular research was that LZ8 can reduce wound size. The wound size becomes smaller, right, at the time of injury and thermal injury area. And at the same time, how it can improve and accelerate our wound is because it inhibits the expression or inhibits the growth of cells such as NFKB and Casper3. These enzymes that inhibit angiogenesis and reduces cell death. So when they reduce cell death, new cells are formed and new blood vessels are formed, wounds get better, wounds get healed faster. Right? So sometimes that's why people with diabetic wounds, we all talk about you put linzi on the wound and that kind of thing. After a few days, it get better. And this is the case. This is the type of result that we can apply to the general explanation to our friends. Right? So, as you can see, LCA increase wound healing action by possible mechanism like inhibiting necrosis factor kappa B and kappa 3 expression. Right? How they go about to do it? Because they inhibit this, that's why they can get better. That's the conclusion of that particular research. Right? Okay, that was that one. So let's look at the second research. Second research also come out from China. Right? I mean, today all three research are from the Far East. Last one we had some from Mexico, but this one we have from Far East. Alright, this research is from China and it is led by Zhang Wangxing of Shandong University in Xingnan. Alright, and the purpose of this research was to investigate the protective effects of pre-treatment with Ganoderma lucidum in cerebral ischemia and reperfusion injury in rats. Right? The title is Neuroprotective Effect of Pre-Treatment with Ganoderma lucidum in cerebral ischemia, reperfusion injury in rat hippocampus. It's published in Neuroregeneration Research 2014. Okay, August 1st. Right? Of course, I mean, I do all this. I will explain a little bit of the technical term. Right. First, we look at what is cerebral ischemia and reperfusion. Right. Cerebral ischemia is like suddenly the brain is lack of blood, lack of oxygen. What kind of situation are we talking about? People with stroke. Right? That is a case where they suddenly do not have oxygen. Or maybe a case of people who have very low blood pressure. The blood just don't go to the brain. Right? Our brain is the place that uses the most oxygen. Right? So sometimes we always hear in our layman term, oh, he's brain dead. No oxygen go to his brain. Why? This is ischemia. Right? That's a medical term for it. Right? So, as you can see, ischemia is a condition in which there is insufficient blood flow to the brain. What it is basically reduced glucose and oxygen to meet the metabolic demand of our brain. Right? Our brain needs to always have oxygen supply to keep the cell growing and churning and working, Right? Okay? So, when we have ischemia, cerebral ischemia, our brain do not have oxygen, it may lead to oxidative stress, inflammation of blood-brain barrier dysfunction. Our brain will not function. And what happens when it not function? Your brain will swell. You see some people, the brain become big. That is the case. And eventually, the cell will die. Particularly in our hippocampus. I'll show you later what's the hippocampus. So, what is a possible thing? Cerebral ischemia is basically a leading cause of senile dementia and death. Right? People who suffer stroke, after a while they become senile. because if they have not done anything, the brain dead, there's number of cell die, right? Severe one, they die. Oh, this is the case. So, what can cerebral ischemia happen? Possible cause compressed blood vessel. What is compressed blood vessel? Hypertension, right? Hypertension, your blood vessel gets stiffened, cholesterol deposit in the blood, there's not enough blood flowing, right? Plaques build up in your arteries. All these are like what we talk in our flip chart, right? About your blood vessel being narrowed down, stiffened, hardened. This is the case. Okay, blood clots, extremely low blood pressure, maybe due to heart attack. So when you have heart attack, the blood pressure drop, the blood don't go to the brain, you get this cerebral ischemia. Okay? So these are possible causes, not necessarily the cause. So anemic people may also get cerebral ischemia. Doesn't mean that there's not ischemia. So anemic people have to be very careful. Right? They cannot fall and bleed. Once they fall and bleed, the blood don't go to the brain, they become coma, they become vegetable. Okay? Right. Okay. This one is what is reperfusion injury. Reperfusion is the reverse of cerebral ischemia. Blood flow back. So when you have a condition of suddenly no blood and a condition of suddenly have blood, something is wrong. Right? So it will, what happens? It will cause tissue damage. Right? Reperfusion injury is a tissue damage caused when blood supply returns to the tissue after a period of ischemia or lack of oxygen. Okay? So when you restore the circulation, what happens? Inflammation, oxidative stress happens. Right? Excessive. When we have oxidative stress, is what? That means it's not balanced. Right? That means you have free radicals, a lot of free radicals. A lot of DNA damage and a lot of cell damage, protein denaturation and cell damage. Very layman term, cell damage. Okay? So when that happens, there's a production of all the inflammatory cells like necrosis, factor alpha, interleukin 6, 8. All these are immune cells, right? We don't need so more a lot about it, but all these are immune cells that contribute to inflammation of the nervous system, the central nervous system. The central nervous system supply it control all our limb movement, our talk, that kind of thing. So that's why stroke people, they cannot talk now, their eyes and all these are controlled by the central nervous system. Okay? Right, so all this plays a part. All our immune cells, the whole immune system, right? Oxidative stress, potential cause of Parkinson's and Alzheimer's, cancers, heart failure, chronic fatigue syndrome. All these are potential problems that is caused because of oxidative stress. Right? Right, hippocampus. What it is, in our brain, in our head here, hippocampus is right in the center. It looks like a seahorse. That's why in Chinese it's called Hein. That's why the name hippocampus sounds very like an animal. Right? Because it looks something like that. See? Like a seahorse. Okay? Is situated right in the center of the brain. It's like very near to the pituitary gland. It's like our main CPU of our human body. Okay, it plays an important role in memory and spatial naming. And I think my slides has okay, it plays a role in memory, basically, and our navigation, our movement, right? So any damage to our hippocampus is an early sign of Alzheimer's disease or Parkinson's disease. You know, like I don't know about whether you all have followed Muhammad Ali's Parkinson's disease episode. I heard he had an operation to remove his hippocampus so that his coordination can be a bit better. So this is an example. Right? So hippocampus is a very important part of our brain. Right? So as it is, we say what can Ganoderma lucidum do? Right? I mean, this is something that we already know. Okay, it's used in Asia for centuries to treat hepatitis, liver disorder, hypocholesterol, arthritis, bronchitis, tumor, regional diseases, all that kind of thing. Now, this is one part here that I want to see. Studies have shown that Ganoderma lucidum are antioxidative, hypoglycemic. That's what we have been talking about. Low blood sugar, anti-inflammatory, and anti-tumor and immunomodulatory activities. All these are in our flowchart, right? So it has been shown to significantly reduce both cerebral influx, blockage of blood vessel, right? Laboratory tests, other laboratory tests has already shown that Lingzi or Ganoderma can reduce cerebral influx, blockage, so-called blockage of blood vessel to the brain. And then it also can improve neural cells in the ischemia cortex. The cortex, this is part of the brain here. The cortex, this is called cortex. Right, then there's also, or rather studies has also shown that Ganoderma can increase both the serum and liver activity of antioxidant enzymes like SOD, catalase, GSH, all this. Like in our book, we also talk about Lingzi can do anti-oxidation, remove free radicals. This is the case. Right. So, okay, this test here, they did two kind of tests. One test is learning test. They want to see whether the rats after the surgery can remember. So they have a step down test. So step down test is like those tests where like they put the rats at a comfortable place. The moment the rats step on the floor, there is an electric current that will send through the rats, and then they will frighten and then they jump back. Alright? So that kind of thing they will check. Of course, if the lesser they do, that means they remember the pain that they suffer. I mean, if you step on it, it's going to be painful. Are you going to step on it? You're not going to step on it, right? So the lesser number of time you do, the more that you learn. If you never learn, that means you keep on stepping on it. Naturally, that means you have not learned at all. So then there's damage to your body. You cannot remember that there's a pain there. Okay? Right. So, look at this one here. Before treatment, they have a sham, they have a model, they have a 3 day, they have a 7 days. Now, this one is the number of errors, right? And you find that this one, okay, what is a sham group? The sham group is that basically they do all the operation, but they do not stop blood flow. Okay, they do not stop blood flow. All the operations are done, they go through all the operations, but they do not stop the blood flow to the brain. So there's no cerebral ischemia or that kind of thing. Now this model group, there's a stop of blood flow. This one, stop of blood flow, but they have fed with Lingzi 3 days later. All these in order to study all these, the rats have to be sacrificed after 3 days, after 7 days, all that kind of thing. After it has been sacrificed, then they look at the brain and see what happened. Alright? So now this one, of course, they have not sacrificed yet. They want to see how many times that they remember. They find that in the model group, the number of errors that they commit, they keep on stepping down, is so high. The sham group is very little because these people have no, I mean, it's like normal, right? They just go through the operation, they never get cerebral ischemia, so naturally they can learn easily lah. They feel the pain, so naturally they have very little error, right? Whereas the model group, whereas the one that has gone through the cerebral ischemia without treatment has a lot of error because it cannot learn. The brain has damaged, the cells have damaged, it cannot remember. So when it cannot remember, they sleep again. Cannot remember, it sleep again, right? When you see those that are treated with Ganoderma, 3 days, 7 days, the number of error that they cause get lesser and lesser. That means they can remember, their cells can regenerate. Okay? Now this is latency here, the number of times. I do not understand what is this latency, so I will not explain to you what is this latency, but it shows that the sham, a model, the 3 days and the 7 days. So you can see the whole idea is, of course, naturally get the Lingzi group to follow the sham. Because the sham is the one without damage, technically. Right? So the fact that it goes very close after 7 days as compared to the model group has shown improvement. So the pre-treatment, the conclusion here is pre-treatment greatly reduces ischemia-induced neuronal loss in the hippocampus, particularly for 7 days. Right? So if it is treated with Lingzi, generally they remember things. Right? Now, then, of course, they also look at the antioxidant part. Remember just now I was studying the antioxidant part. What happened to the body, this kind of thing. So, pre-treatment increases SOD level in the serum and hippocampus. At the same time, the MDA content is reduced. Marker for oxidative stress can cause disruption to normal cellular signaling. Right? This MDA is a signaling thing, cell signal, signal between cells. Right? Let's just look at the chart here. You find that the MDA content, right? MDA content is what is MDA? MDA is basically marker for oxidative stress. So, as you can see here, the sham group is low, the model group is high. As it goes along, 3 days, 7 days, with Lingzi pre-treatment, the MDA content gets lower. So that means the oxidative stress is getting lesser. So when the oxidative stress getting lesser, naturally there's lesser free radical, there's improvement in the health. Alright, that's the conclusion that's being read. Right. This one is, of course, here they have different method of treating. One, how they go about is that one, they have treatment, then they wash it away, they do it, then they come back again. So different results, right? All the same. Okay, this is the SOD in serum, right? You can see that the SOD is an anti-free radical. It removes free radical enzyme. All right. You see the SOD improve after 7 days. much better than 3 days, right? So the longer it goes, the better the antioxidant level in the body, right? Then we look at the immunomodulatory part, right? In the tumor necrosis factor A. This is one of those immune system that is caused during pro-inflammation response of the immune system, which contribute to the brain damage as a result of the ischemic insult. So of course we do not understand all this kind of reading. We look at the figure here, the chart here, right? Now, if you look at the sham group and the interleukin 8 and the purple color is the tumor necrosis factor A, you find that the sham group, of course, naturally, they do not have any brain damage, is low. The model group, because of some brain damage, the necrosis factor A and the interleukin 8 is higher as compared to the Lingzi treatment. It has shown improvement. As you can see, it has declined, right? So that means there is an improvement. So I mean, we do not normally say that if you have stroke, you take Lingzi, you will definitely recover back completely your old self, right? You can improve. You can improve the situation, and this is a case of improving the situation, right? Right. So, simple summary of the test is that Ganoderma lucidum polysaccharide produces a distinctive protective effect against cerebral ischemia and reperfusion injury. And this protective effect may be due to both its antioxidative and anti-inflammatory properties. Right? Antioxidative is because it reduces MDA, increase SOD. MDA is the one that increase oxidative. SOD, GSH is the one that is antioxidative. Inflammatory, tumor necrosis factor A and interleukin 8, these immune cells are inflammatory cells, right? And the fact that they have reduced is shown that it has anti-inflammatory properties. And then on top of that, Ganoderma lucidum polysaccharide. Sorry, and there's some typing error, is a potentially safe treatment for stroke patients. So people with stroke, cerebral ischemia is like I said, is stroke patient, right? You take drug, there's some side effect. Drugs like maybe a person may have mood changes. That's the next thing we're going to talk about is the next one. I remember when my father had a stroke, he go to the doctor just said, let him lie down and a few days he will get better. Wait for his own immune system to work on. So basically that's the case. I mean, but if we know about Lingzi, at least if you feed a person with Lingzi, it can help him to recover faster. Simple as that. And of course, get a bit better than if he is not. Right? Right. Third research. Okay, it's about third research is carried out by Professor Wang Sun-Chiu of Jiamuxi University in Heilongjiang, China. Right? The purpose of this research is to study the anti-epileptic effect of Ganoderma lucidum polysaccharide. Epilepsy. Right? The title is Anti-Epileptic Effect of Ganoderma lucidum polysaccharide by Inhibition of Intracellular Calcium Accumulation and Stimulation of Expression of tau-MAC2 alpha in epileptic hippocampal neurons. Right, that's the title. It's published in PLOS 1 2014. Right? Right, let's just look a little bit about the key terms. What is epilepsy? Epilepsy in Chinese, yang dian. Suddenly somebody just fall on the floor and then start shaking and spill out foam, kind of epileptic. But of course, one time you cannot say so. This is not a situation that is easily detectable. Only after a couple of times of one with such attack, then you can qualify that as epilepsy. Okay, so they cannot say that, oh, you fall down and you shake, you foam, is epileptic. No, one time, 2 times, 3 times maybe. Right? Okay, so say a neurological disorder characterized by recurrent epileptic seizure. Recurrent, What is seizure? Seizure is vigorous shaking, and it varies in duration. And of course, it affects a person's lifestyle, quality of life. Suddenly you talk, because of certain stress, and then you fall on the floor, you start seeing your quality of life is affected, right? Epilepsy, seizure are the result of excessive and abnormal cortical nerve cell activity in the brain, right? And epilepsy has been traced to an elevated levels of calcium, a major signaling molecule in the central nervous system. Okay, don't think too much about the word calcium first. We'll talk a little bit about calcium. What else? Later our friend just now talk about calcium. You start to worry about calcium. No, okay. Right, then, of course, the key is maintaining stability of calcium ions is important in treating and preventing epilepsy. Alright, hemostasis is stability Right. Okay, the causes of epilepsy is unknown. You don't know what is the cause, but it may be due to brain injury, stroke, tumor, drug, alcohol abuse, meningitis, an infection of the central nervous system. Genetic mutations are pretty rare. So to say that, it's in the genes, it's 好笑. I would say it's not, don't say 好笑啦, it's unlikely lah. It doesn't mean that the parent has it, the children have it. No, it doesn't happen. Alright, it's rare, it's unlikely, but because of other problems. Okay, meningitis, who knows, maybe you are bitten by a mosquito that cause meningitis, right? Okay, so 1% of the world population has epilepsy. 80% happen in the developing world. I would say that why that's the case? Maybe, who knows, it could be caused by mosquito. The encephalitis. Encephalitis, mosquito bite you and your brain swell or that kind of thing is one of the possible causes. This is my hypothesis. Okay, it's not a scientific proof. Alright, and generally, of course, epilepsy is controllable by medication. You have epileptic, you take medication, they're okay, it can reduce. About 70% are effective. 70% of the people recover. Right? They have lesser attack. But of course, medication will always come with some side effects. Right? A person may have mood changes. Mood changes suddenly become like that, or become other reasons. Speech problem, coordination problem, depression, loss of bone density like osteoporosis. Maybe the drug may cause certain inflammation of your organ. Like last time I told you before, I had this white spot on my skin last time, kind of infection. I went to take a certain medication, caused a little bit of liver damage. Right? This is the case. Right? So next thing, another thing is we want to look at is what is calcium. Just now I talked about calcium, and our friend also talked about calcium. But does it mean calcium is bad? No. Right? Calcium is an important component of our healthy diet and a mineral necessary for life. Right? For sustaining life, I would say necessary for sustaining life. So it's important in building our bones and teeth. If we have enough calcium, we have strong bones, we have strong teeth, and not easily broken. Right? If you have someone that easily broken bone, that means definitely that person must have short of calcium. Right? Now 99% of our body's calcium is stored in bones and teeth. That's all we know. We all know about it, right? We all know that it's all stored in bone. But it's the 1% that is floating around that is very important. I don't think that 1% is very minimal. 1% is the one that is very important, because calcium ion, right, Ca2 plus, is one of the signaling protein that is needed in our body to signal between all the cells to function properly. Okay, right? So other important uses include the formation and functioning of cells in our body, like the signal transduction, muscle contraction, fertilization, and blood clotting. Surprisingly, right? Fertilization. Why I say fertilization here? If you have no calcium, or rather lack of that 1% calcium, the sperm cannot swim to the ovum. Simple as that. No strength. Okay? So calcium is also needed. Right. Muscle contraction. Our heart pump. There's a muscle contraction. Of course, big muscle, don't talk about it easily, right? When you have not enough calcium, all this will be a problem, because your signal between the muscle is not working fine, the heart is not working fine. Right? Where it come from? This calcium ions is released from our bone in the blood into the bloodstream. So you take calcium, is stored in our bone, and then from there, our thyroid will generate a certain enzyme to tell the bone, I need calcium. And the bone will then release this calcium ion into the bloodstream. Right? At the same time, when we consume calcium, we go to our intestine will at the same time absorb it and go into the bone and process to the liver, all that kind. It's very technical, I also find a bit problem to understand it. But basically that's the case. Simple as that. Right. Now, so talking about calcium ion is very, although it is just a signaling calcium, an enzyme, but we must balance it. Same lah, we must modulate it. Our body must modulate it. If our body do not modulate it, then the physiological processes will go haywire. Things like when our calcium ion get over or under concentration. When sometimes it's too many, sometimes it's too little, and then it causes cell death. Health consequences like neurodegenerative, degenerative, and cardiovascular diseases, hypertension, diabetes. How? When your calcium ion is not giving the right signal to your pancreas to produce insulin, what happens? You have diabetes. This is a simple example lah. Cardiovascular diseases, things like that. I told you about the muscle contraction. When your calcium ion is not balanced, you are not giving the right signal to the heart. Right? Right. What is CARMAC2? Is in the long terminology is calcium camodine dependent protein kinase. It's basically a calcium triggered signaling enzyme. It's an enzyme that is triggered by Ca2+, right? Right. This is just an enzyme triggered by Ca2+. Right. What it does, it regulates our cell activity and is an important mediator of learning and memory. Alright, CARMAC2, okay? It regulates our neuronal cell, right? Okay? I mean, all the while we talk about modulation, right? So modulation of CARMAC2 is also important. When your CARMAC2 is not regulated, you have Alzheimer's disease, you have heart arrhythmia, irregular heartbeat, right? Okay, so studies have shown that if your CARMAC2 is inactivated, right, during epileptic seizure, and it will precede cell death, right? So when this enzyme is not activated, or rather, studies have shown that during epilepsy, CARMAC2 is so-called activation become very low, very low. So as a result, cell death happen. Okay. So naturally, we want to increase CARMAC2 to protect and prevent epilepsy. That's the ultimate objective. Now, CARMAC2 is heavily implicated in long-term potential. What is long-term potential? It is basically a process that strengthens signal between neuronal cells. Long-term potential is talking about the cell communication, the cell multiplication. We want certain thing. We want the cell to produce unlimited, keep on multiplying. But we don't want certain cell, like cancer cell, to keep on multiplying. Okay? Right. Same thing. In this particular research, they always carry a little bit of a report of each product. So they talk about Ganoderma lucidum. It is basically a traditional medicine treated for human diseases, all that kind of thing, which we all know. And then studies show that Ganoderma lucidum spores has anti-epileptic effects. How it increases amino butyric acid, right, and reduce our neural excitability and decrease the amino glutamic acid that increase the neural activity. Basically, this is an earlier study. The studies say that Ganoderma can reduce all this. So as a result, it doesn't get our brain cells to be very activated, too active, and cause epilepsy. Right. Let's look at the result of the calcium ion accumulation through this fluorescence intensity test of the hippocampal neuron. Now this test is how they did this test is that they first get the rats, they breed it up to a certain number of days. Then after that, they kill the rat. They extract the hippocampal cell. Then they culture it in a dish. This is in vitro tests. So, and these are all acceptable tests for epilepsy. You cannot, basically you cannot take tests on a live human being. You will take on blood cell and you count on cell basis. Right? So, now, looking at it here, you find that now this is the normal group. Because when the calcium should be normal. Right? But when it comes to the model group, you see the calcium here, the first few seconds, few minutes, when they simulate epileptic attack. This is a simulation epileptic attack by putting in magnesium, some certain chemical to simulate epileptic attack. The calcium ion shoot up, right? Then after that it fall back down. But although it fall back down, it has always been above all the others. Now the blue one is the one that is pre-treated with Ganoderma lucidum. They drip the Ganoderma lucidum on the cells. Okay? And they find that when they pre-treat it with the when they simulate it with the epileptic attack, the one that's treated with Ganoderma lucidum polysaccharide, the jerk up in the calcium ion is much lower than the one that is without treatment. So this also shows that with Ganoderma treatment, you can reduce the potential of surge in calcium ion in the brain. Okay? Right? See here, when Ganoderma lucidum polysaccharide was added, calcium 2 plus ion fluorescence intensity declined, right? Lesser than the one. This one is without Ganoderma polysaccharide. This one with, so is much lower. So this indicates that Ganoderma lucidum polysaccharide inhibits calcium. Alright, inhibits. I mean, I don't know how come it appears differently in Yuki's computer as to in my computer. Right? There seems to be a little bit of off focus. This indicates that Ganoderma lucidum polysaccharide inhibits calcium through accumulation in the cell, neuronal cells. Alright? Alright, this is one proof. Now then, they also look at another way of the test. How this another way of the test goes about is that they take the neuronal cell, they simulate it with epilepsy attack, one as a model. Then after that, they rinse it away, right? Then they put it back to normal to show whether it retains back to normal, right? First, they do a normal one, then they simulate an attack, then they wash away the chemical that simulate the attack, then they put in the normal one to say that, okay, the attack is over. After the patient or whatever it is gone back to normal, what happened to the brain, right? Now, so that's the case here. You see that it still maintained quite high, right? Whereas this one, Ganoderma lucidum, how the procedure go about? First, they have the neuronal cell. When they stimulate it with attack, then at the same time, Ganoderma lucidum is added, right? Then after that, they wash it away, and then they add Ganoderma lucidum again. Okay, that's why you see you keep on going down. Alright, so Ganoderma lucidum intensity in the neurons of model group 2 was significantly higher than control group, and no significant decrease even after 3 hours after replacement of normal maintaining. Right? So then, however, the calcium intensity declines significantly after when replaced with medium containing Ganoderma lucidum polysaccharide. Right? This one, when you go back, it doesn't fall much. Whereas down here, it falls a lot. Right? So, another proof that Ganoderma lucidum polysaccharide inhibits calcium accumulation. Okay? Now, CalMAC2 expression. CalMAC2 expression, I think in biological term, expression is talking about the intensity. Okay, there's a fluorescence intensity of CalMAC2 alpha protein in model group 3 was significantly lower than the control group. So this is the normal control group, right? So you can see the model group. The model group is the one that is being simulated with the attack. The CalMAC3 expression is lower. But when it comes with the Ganoderma lucidum, this one is just once, it already got better. This one with another time, it has improved. So that means if you have Ganoderma lucidum treatment, increase the CalMAC2 alpha expression in epileptic hippocampus neuron, right? Improve as compared to their control. So, what's the conclusion of this? Is that it demonstrates that Ganoderma lucidum polysaccharide has a protective and preventive effect against epilepsy because they inhibits this, they improve this CalMAC2 expression. Right? Now we look at another way by Western blot. I don't know what is Western blot, but it's just different method of looking at it. Okay, now protein expression, it shows that CalMAC2 also has improved. So they did two tests, two kind of tests. In case you say this test cannot pakai, I do another test to prove to you it gives the same result. This is the case, right? So it confirms protective and preventive effect of Ganoderma. Right? I told you why we want to have CalMAC2, right? So this is a case. Just now I explained what is CalMAC2. So the summary result of this survey, or rather this study, is that Ganoderma polysaccharide can inhibit calcium ion accumulation in the neurons. And of course, when it inhibits calcium accumulation, naturally the CalMAC2 stimulation is able to contribute more. So as a result, Ganoderma lucidum has a beneficial role in the prevention and treatment of epilepsy. That is the conclusion of that study. Alright? So in our conclusion, naturally when we are sick, we have to go and see doctor. We still have to need an immediate treatment, right? We need medicine. Cannot say we don't need to go and then we depend on this type of thing, to treat right away. If we are really sick, we still have to go and go for treatment. But when we go for treatment, naturally, you give the medicine will always have side effect. But of course, we also remember that there's always a side effect-free treatment to help us improve our system, improve our health, and improve our lifestyle. Right? With that, I end my sharing. Thank you very much.